What's going on, everyone? It's your guy, Pat Bernard, with you live here with the It's a Wrap Sports. A lot to get into tonight. A lot's happened. Um, we're going to talk, also, we're going to talk about the Phillies thumping the New York Yankees tonight. Talk a little about the Water Dogs, as my Philadelphia Water Dogs continuously take me up and down this roller coaster. And I'm going to talk. I know it's a very touchy subject as of late, but you know what? Let's get into it. I want to talk about the legendary Hulk Hogan and what he's meant to the wrestling world. Because whether you like him or not, how you feel, Hulk Hogan played a big role into all of our childhoods. All of us. I don't care if you are from my generation, early 2000s. You knew who Hulk Hogan was. You knew the man. You knew the myth. You knew the legend. And I would be lying to you if I told you I was going to talk about Hulk Hogan and what he meant to me in my childhood. But anyway, let's like I said, the Phillies though tonight busted out the lumber, did a great job of putting the New York Yankees on their backside. Did a great job of putting the Yankees on their backside, thumping the New York Yankee team, thumped them. This Philadelphia. Look how the Phillies did tonight. Look how they played. And again, it looked like before I go any further, my man Joe Howell checking in. Joe, what's going on, brother? He says, Pat Bernard, how are you, sir? What's up, Joey? Again, I don't know. I don't know the deal. But all I can tell you is this Philadelphia Phillies team, like I said, it looked like your normal night. It looked like a normal night of Phillies baseball with excuse me there. Your Phillies look like a normal night of getting thumped by this New York Yankees team, and they didn't. You know, Trey Turner looked like doing Trey Turner things, giving up some bad pitchers. Cody Bellinger gets a second deck home run. And then followed up by Austin Wells' home run. Really kind of get things rocking and rolling for the New York Yankees as they went up 2-0 early in this game. Kyle Schwarber gave up 3 home runs. Not Kyle Schwarber, I'm sorry, Trey Turner, Trey Walker, Taijuan Walker, there you go, gave up 3 home runs. But however, this was a slugfest game. This was home run for a home run. This was long ball versus long ball. Because if you wanted offensive power, you got it in this game. Kyle Schwarber would tack on not one, but 2 pairs of home runs. Like, how good has Kyle Schwarber been? Like, Kyle Schwarber has been a beast. Been a beast. Like, he's been that good. Joe Howe says it looked good as for a star for it looks good and Stott looks good. Yeah. And you're right. JT looks good and so does Stott. Yeah, right. I totally agree. Like I said, when I look at this Phillies team and I look at what they were able to do, kind of out slugfest the New York Yankees offense, and that's what it came down to. It was a boxing match, and like I said, tit for tat. Kyle Schwarber put up a pair of home runs. JT Realmuto put up a pair of home runs for the Phillies, and eventually, like I mentioned, for the Yankees, it was Cody Bellinger, it was Austin Wells, it was J. Carlos Stanton, but they just couldn't hang with the Phillies. And the Phillies did a great job keeping them all balanced, not just doing a great job with the long ball, but like Joe Hal mentioned, the small ball. The small ball was a major effect with the Nick Castellanos, the Bryson Stotts, Trey Turner going 4 for 5 tonight. Kyle Schwarber, 3 for 5 with a pair of home runs. This is how you get things done around here. This is how you get things done. My man Star Wars checking is the top of the top two hitter were 7th and 9th. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the hitting of this Phillies offense was really, really good. The power bats were alive tonight. And like I mentioned, the Phillies doing a great job of mixing in small ball, long ball, small ball, long ball. It helps. It helps. And Bryce Harper did not have the greatest of nights going 0 for 4. Going 0 for 4. What's going on in TikTok world? Now, like I said, if I'm going to complain about anything, Taiwan Walker doing Taiwan Walker things, you have to expect when the train falls off the track with this guy. That's all he's about. Taiwan Walker is just can't keep himself together when he's on the hill for the Phillies. And he's terrible. He's terrible. He's a terrible pitcher. I still don't know. Like, they don't have nothing in the farm system that's better for Taiwan Walker and what he offers. He's another guy. I'm begging for Aaron Nola to bump him down to the bullpen. Knock him down a few pegs. Like, I can't take it anymore with with Taiwan Walker in his lineup. The New York Mets knew exactly what they were doing by getting rid of this clown. I can't take it. I'm not a fan of his. I never liked him when he was with the Yankees. I didn't think he had anything to offer to the Phillies. Every one of his pitches get caught. They get hung up. They always turn into the long ball shot. I'm not encouraged about Taiwan Walker taking the hill for the Phillies. Just truly not. What's going on TikTok world? If you like the show, please subscribe. Give me a like, give me a follow. If you're on TikTok, you're watching me for the first time. Going back to YouTube, my man Joe House says Trey looked good. Also, yeah, he did. Trey Turner going 4 for 5 tonight, doing a great job with the small ball. Loved what Trey Turner brought on the hill tonight. Schwarber, Star Wars saying Schwarber can't go anywhere. Nah, the Phillies are going to have to re-sign him. Your Philadelphia Phillies are going to have to re-sign him. They'd be a fool not to sign Kyle Schwarber. I know it's his contract year. He's obviously fighting for a paycheck. Yeah, if I'm the Phillies, you sign him. I don't know about a long-term deal, but just give him he deserves the money bank. Maybe you mix in like another 3 to 4 year deal. I know I'm pretty sure he's looking for that long-term extension where you don't have to leave Philadelphia. Joe Hal says Painter's going to replace Taiwan Walker, I think. I hope so too, bud. Appreciate all the likes coming in off of TikTok. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Keep on hitting that like button. Thank you, RJ. Appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. But again, like, you see it though. You seen it. Joe Held, Star Wars. He's a reliability on the hill. You cannot have Ty Walker pitch for this team anymore. Like I need Andrew Painter in here now. He can't be any worse than Ty Walker. Appreciate the likes again there, RJ. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. But again, like, so your Philadelphia Phillies, again, take care of the New York Yankees. This is how you want to get things started. This is what you wanted. A punch to the belly. That's what they needed. And I think this Phillies team is starting to come around a little bit. The offense is starting to hit dingers. And this is what you need. Star Wars is checking in. He says, congratulations to the 42 members who picked not I, but I put 2 Schwarbombs. Hey, listen, the Schwarbombs were uplifting for this team. Like I said, this guy's come to play. He's getting hot at the right time. Like Kyle Schwarber, he may be, if I think about it, I know you have Saquon Barkley. I know you have Jalen Hurts. I know you have Lane Johnson. There's a bunch of Eagles you can mention. But you can't leave Kyle Schwarber out the category of an MVP race in Philadelphia sports. Like right now, I got Jalen, Kyle Schwarber, and Ty Bad Boy Baribo from the Philadelphia Union. What's going on, TikTok world? Appreciate the joining. Hey, listen, if you want to talk Philadelphia sports on TikTok world, man, just chime in, comment in, and I'll get to you. But again, New York Yankees had their fair share of people that hit home runs. Like I said, Cody Bellinger to start the game goes second deck. Austin Wells, Giancarlo Stanton, Anthony Vogt. Like they show power, but that, like I said, eventually they would run out. They would run out of scoring. And picture this: the New York Yankees went 0 for 3 tonight with players in scoring position. Think about that. They went 0 for 3 with players in scoring position. Think about that. Star Wars is saying 115 mile and the second Schwarber, an absolute nuke. Yeah, he was. That was a nuke. Next year we battled each. We better watch out for the White Sox. Yeah, I'm real intimidated by the White Sox, here, buddy. Appreciate. I'm sorry, Chris. What's up, buddy? He goes while Philly's crushing the ball. Yeah, they are. They are crushing. They are out dueling. They're out dueling the New York Yankees. They were. They want to go long ball for long ball with the New York Yankees, and the New York Yankees lost it. But again, the Phillies had a mixture of long ball, small ball, good, keeping them all balanced, doing a great job. Like I mentioned, New York Yankees went 0 for 3 tonight with players in scoring position. Not good. I'm up to 524 likes. Keep on bringing them in, everyone. Keep on bringing in those likes. Appreciate it. And tell your friend. So there you go. Again, and how about Trey Turner? Like I mentioned, 4 for 5 with a triple tonight. Huge win. Ricky is watching. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Star Wars says, wow, the Braves. What's going on with the Braves there, Star Wars? What's happening at dump? But again, guys, if you're checking in, like I said, through YouTube, through TikTok, through X, what do you need to see the Phillies do at the trade deadline? Because that's going to be the talk of the town. And I mentioned it. The Phillies need an arm. There's no hiding it. The Phillies need an arm. Wow. Star Wars says they're losing 1-8 right now against the Rangers. Joe Howe's checking in as well. He says they're losing bad. Good. You know what, though? The Rangers, the Braves are not in this race. It's a two-team battle for the pennant, for the NL East pennant. It's the Mets and the Phils. And it's been a seesaw. It's been a seesaw. Like, it's crazy between the Phillies and Mets. But again, very pleased. Kyle Schwarber gets his 36th home run on the season. Like, I'm curious to know if the guy could get to 50 by the end of the season. Like, he's got to be able to get to 50. No problem. The way he's raking it in right now, he should be able to dial up 50 wins. But, like, again, a good win for the Phillies. We're a horrible starting pitcher that I got no trust in by any stretch. I got none. I got no trust on Taiwan Walker. I guess Joe Howe means O'Neill Cruz. He goes, would you take Cruz from Pittsburgh? Absolutely. Star Wars is also checking in. He goes, I think he can. Okay. And look, we'll see what happens. But again, this team needs more depth in that bullpen. It just needs more depth in that bullpen. This Phillies team needs more depth. It's point blank. But again, this is a good way to start off. A 12-5 win over the New York Yankees. Like, this is a great win. This is a great win. This is a momentum builder. That's how you get things rocking and rolling right now. You have your Kyle Schwarber playing for a contract. He's playing for the money backs. I totally understand. Totally understand there. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go shift right now to another Philadelphia team. Again, it's solid struggles. Hold on a second. I totally agree with this. Joe Star Wars says we need to sign our draft pick by Monday. Yes, totally agree. But the Philadelphia Water Dogs now go to 4-3 on the season, and again, how do you let that happen? How do you let a start like Michael Sowers? How do you let a Michael Sowers start just go to the wayside? How? Michael Sowers, again, what's he do? What's he like to do? Get behind the opposing defense, read plays, break down what the opposing defense is throwing at him. Okay? And he has a counterpunch for that. And he has a knuckle sandwich lined up for that. Michael Sowers, like I said, 5 goals in last week's game. 4 of them came from him. 4 goals came from Michael Sowers. Again, breaking down what the defense were throwing at him last week, what Utah was throwing at him, what Maryland was throwing at him last week. Again, he couldn't find nobody open, so he took matters into his own hands. He winds up making 4 out of 5 goals. He makes some wild plays. Again, beating the one-on-one defenders, creating separation, makes this crazy goal. Like, I think the guy pushed R2 on his back and does a jump, leaping goal. Joe Howe says, is there any of the Philadelphia Water Dog players on the Philadelphia Wings? No, that's the wild part, Joe. They're all spread out. No, yes, there is. Michael Sowers. Michael Sowers plays for, he's the star of the team. He plays for both leagues. He plays for both teams. He plays for the War Dogs and the Philadelphia Wings. But again, that's all sounds gravy with the War Dogs being up by, with a nice cushion lead, being up 5-0. But then he let Maryland come back in the game, and one of Philly's downfalls is it doesn't matter where they're at with this game. They could be having a long stretch of scoring and all that stuff where everything looks like it's going to go right for this team, and everything that looks like it's going to go right happens to go wrong. We lose a tire on the way. We get the brakes go out. Everything with the Philadelphia Water Dogs happens to go. I don't understand how this team is 4-3 with some of these games that just transpire. How are they 4-3? I don't get it. I don't see it. Like, I really do question the Water Dogs and Bill Tierney, the head coach. Like, he's my go-to, and I've seen him yell at players. I've seen him get angry with other players. But again, he tells the players, get your head out of your knishes and all those other things. But again, when this team only attempted 1 2-pointer, 1 shot from the perimeter, that's not good. You have to play 60 minutes of lacrosse. You have to. And you can't give your opposing players any kind of breathing room. I'm sorry, you can't take your foot off the gas pedal. It's just not good. Not good. And you're giving other teams an opportunity to want to compete now. And it's sad. It's sad when the Water Dogs play like this. Like I said, Michael Sowers scoring 4 out of your 5 goals puts you here. And they just let it go to the wayside. Let it go. And I don't understand. I don't understand. The Philadelphia Water Dogs need to play better. The Philadelphia Water Dogs need to play better. When it's all said and done. And now they're going to face this desperate desperate chaos team. Who, in my mind, the chaos. The Carolina Chaos have guys who can score. Guys you're going to have to look out for as own hits. Jackson Eckler, Rose Scott. I mean, there's a couple of those guys who can make plays. Jackson Eckler, 8 goals, 5 assists. Owen hits, 12 goals, 5 assists. Ross Scott, 8 goals, 7 assists. So they got their own three-headed monster that the Philadelphia War Dogs are going to have to deal with. And you can't rely on the same plays over and over and over and over, because that's how Maryland beat you. They gave you a taste of your own medicine. What did they do great, Maryland, last week? They made plays from the opposing defense. They got behind their opposing goalie, and they were just taking a page out of Mike Sauer's playbook. Broke down, read what the defense were doing. Maryland had great ball movement. They were finding spaces on the floor, on the field, and they took liberties on it. Oh, gosh. Let me get in some of these comments that are coming in. Now we got some coming in through Facebook. My man Frankie James, don't you know? Don't you know? What's up, buddy? Uh-oh, Muffler Mike, about the only person in the world that's got any kind of faith in the War Dogs. He says, War Dogs got this. I don't know, Mike. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. You saw what the War Dogs did last week, leaving holes on their side of the field on the defense side. The War Dogs have no set communication on who's guarding who. They leave holes. There's no communication anywhere. No read dark romance. Oh, the boss is checked in. The old lady, give me some likes. Love it. Thank you. I know, Joe. I saw that. He goes, I picked chaos. And you're a smart man. You should have. You have every right. I'm the dummy who took the War Dogs. Joe House checking in from YouTube. He goes, how many teams are in the league? Joe, I believe there's eight teams. There's Utah, New York, Maryland, Philly, Boston. And like I said, a couple of West Coast teams, Denver, California. They got a whole mesh of teams out there. But anywho's, let's get back to the action on the field. Mike, how do you feel about this War Dogs team? Because I have no confidence. You got a little bit more confidence than I do. I have more confidence in the chaos. Again, you're going to have to watch Jackson Eckler, Owen Hines, Ross Scott. They got some playmakers out there. Like, this is not going to be a day at the beach. That's for sure. That's for sure. Appreciate all the likes coming in. Definitely keep them coming, rocking and rolling. Up to 1,000 likes on TikTok. Like, that's one thing about the War Dogs. They take their foot off the gas pedal a lot. The War Dogs happen to take their foot off a lot. A lot. And it comes back to haunt them all the time. Ricky's checking in on YouTube. Thank you, Ricky, for watching on YouTube. Appreciate it, buddy. Now, like I said, like Mike, you know what we talked about on Sunday night. You have Denver. You have to keep an eye out for. They look legit. And by the way, my guy, Pat Cavanaugh, leading the league in scoring. My guy. That's my guy, Pat Cavanaugh. He's a playmaker. That's my guy. I love Pat Cavanaugh. I like Pat Cavanaugh's game. I love what he brings. I've been covering him for the last 2 years. You know that. Muffler Mike. And by the way, guys, catch my man Muffler Mike to Sunday nights at 8 o'clock with Stream Punk Entertainment with all lacrosse all the time. Me, him, Gary, Sean, breaking down all lacrosse all the time. He goes, they need to focus on Heinz, Adams, Chamberlain's. They also need to put in the transition. Use it like it's the Matt Witcher-Curls and Connor Kelly. Yeah, well, I believe too. Did I see Zach Curry's hurt for the Water Dogs? Tell mommy, buddy. I think I saw Zach Curry that's hurt. Is questionable, but the chaos, and it's a good thing you took him too, Muffler Mike, because chaos, they are fully healthy. They're fully healthy. So they got a full squad that's healthy, Mike, and it's a little concerning. Mike says he was listed as questionable. That usually means they're playing. Yeah, I'm right. I don't see no one get hurt. I saw my man Pat Cavanaugh. But again, like Philly's got a couple teams that are ahead of them. New York, Denver. Like I needed Philly to get me a convincing win. When I see Denver take the field, it looks convincing. New York looks convincing. Those teams look like they're running away with the division here. $10 of Zach Curry is better than 0 minutes. Yeah, I understand that, but if he's not going to produce, what good is he? I need him to start listen. Last week, the week before against Utah, I love the fact that he was mixing it up. I love the fact that he took the ball straight down the belly of Utah, shooting from the outside. But you're not going to always have it easy. And now, like we talked about before, this Carolina team, with their backs up against the wall, they need this win as well. They need this win as well. They really do. And Muffler Mike, I don't understand. I don't, like I said, they can't roll out the same playbook. Teams are going to pick up on it. They're going to make you pay the piper for it. You can't be rolling the same offensive plays. You got to mix it up. You got to keep teams all balanced. Or otherwise, people are going to know your playbook. And them not tempt, again, what does the Union like to do? I'm sorry, the Philadelphia Water Dogs like to do? They like to simply just create havoc down low. I was shocked in that Utah game, but they didn't run the same plays. Because, like I told you, I feel like the Water Dogs sometimes they just look for the ESPN highlight reel instead of playing team ball. I don't know, man. I feel like they're a playoff team. I don't think they're ready to challenge for the PLL Finals Championship. And I'm being straight. They look like a great playoff team. Yes. And you know what? You bring up a good point, Muffler Mike. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, up to 1,400 likes now on TikTok. Keep them rocking. Keep them rolling. Keep them coming in. Muffler Mike brings up about Cameron McCardle getting too predictable with his play and goal line extending. Yeah, right. It's the same players all the time. Like the week before, he looked like a man on a mission. Teams get these coaches, they get paid big money to scout you out and figure you out. They figured out his game. They figured out his game. And he was back of a milk carton, to say the least. To say the least, he was in back of a milk carton. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found last week. And that bothers me. Bothers me. Muffler Mike says, just can't camp out and wait to snipe, even if you're one and only 7 players in history with the 500 points club. Right. Listening, I tipped my hat. He joined the 500 points club team. That's all good and fine and dandy. However, like you said, when teams around the league kind of figure out your game and shut it down, you got to make adjustments. You got to make adjustments there. And if you're not going to make adjustments, like I said, then you're going to be figured out. He was figured out last week. No adjustments. And they didn't have another scoring option. Like it was Michael Sowers, and that was it. Think about that, Muffler Mike. That was it. But anyway, getting ready to transition into another topic. We'll see what the Water Dogs can do tomorrow against the Carolina Chaos. We'll see what the Phillies do tomorrow against the Yankees. One of my must-watch games to watch is the Phillies and Yankees. Muffler Mike says, I'm more worried about the offense than the defense. It should be the other way around. Yeah, because like I said, this Philadelphia Water Dogs team, Mike, shows you there's times they're not scoring where the defense is letting teams around. Redwoods just upset the Archers tonight. Wow. Yeah, but the Archers need that. I can't believe Hulk Hogan passed away. My childhood hero was a great wrestler. My favorite Hogan memory is when he was the former NWO and WCW. Yeah, listen, Joe, I'm about to touch on that. The Philadelphia, like I said, the wrestling world lost a legend. Now, I think I'm not going to say I can speak for everybody. I don't know. I don't know Terry Bollea, the human being. Don't know him from Scribe. Don't know him from a can of paint. There's been things that he's done in his life that no one's proud of. Done some stupid things. Not cool. Dropping, like I said, some of his decisions. I would never hang out with a guy like that in a locker room. I'm only there to do business. But Hulk Hogan, the character, not Terry Bollea, the person, Hulk Hogan, the character, was truly epic. He's the reason why a lot of wrestlers are in locker rooms today. Everybody saw that. The gold, the yellow and red, and a lot of people want to be like that guy. Seeing the way he can captivate a crowd spoke into a lot of wrestlers' hearts and said, I want to be like that. I mean, to me, Hulk Hogan, the character, by far the greatest wrestler of all time. The greatest wrestler of all time. Seeing the man become the greatest baby face of all time. And I also remember in 1996 him becoming the greatest heel of all time. Of all time. He changed the game of heels. He changed it. Like, people were throwing trash into the ring. Yes, ECW had their bunch of crazy wrestlers, but he was the guy that changed the whole landscape. The whole landscape of professional wrestling. Like, this guy was in 8 WrestleManias. 8. They don't just choose you to work main events just to work. WrestleMania 1, Hogan, Mr. T taking on Orndorff and Piper. WrestleMania 2 against Hulk Hogan and against my trainer, King Kong Bundy. WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Andre. WrestleMania 5, Hogan and Savage. WrestleMania 6, Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. WrestleMania number 7, Hulk Hogan and Sid Vicious. I mean, the list goes on. Like, this guy was in 8 WrestleManias. 8! I'm sorry, WrestleMania 7 was Slaughter. WrestleMania 8 was Sid Justice. And WrestleMania 9 was Yokozuna. I mean, incredible. Joe House says, Pat, what was your favorite memory of Hogan? WrestleMania 3. As much as I want to give credit to WrestleMania 2 against, like I said, King Kong Bundy, my trainer, it was WrestleMania 3 that made a lot of wrestling fans. The Bison and Andre. And Hogan win the title. I mean, tainted it. If I was going to go a Hogan memory. And TikTok, if you're listening, if you have a Hulk Hogan memory, bring them out. If you don't, you don't have to. Michael Pepper, because I first saw Hulk Hogan on WWF Saturday morning in 1979 with his manager, Classy Freddie Blassie. I was 10 years old. Wow. Wow, Mike Papernick. That's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. Like I said, not a fan of what Hogan said and things he's done outside of the wrestling world. Or, excuse me, Terry Bollea. Not a fan of Terry Bollea and the things he's done outside of the wrestling world. Hulk Hogan, the gimmick, Hulk Hogan, the character, forever be loved by America. The greatest heel, the greatest baby face, of all time. The greatest. It's unspeakable. He is truly the Michael Jordan of professional wrestling. The Sting was good. All those guys, the Ultimate Warriors, the Stings, all those baby faces, the John Cena's, Styles, were there, but they were never. Well, Stone Cold will be pushing. Stone Cold's popularity was probably just there. But Hogan, Joe House says, I remember the TV show on Saturday mornings, the Hogan the cartoons. Yeah, Hogan's Heroes. I heard of Hulk Hogan in his wrestling magazines when he was in Florida and Mid South. Muffler Mike says NWO for life. Yeah, listen, and so I don't know if Hulk was the greatest heel of all time. His heel turn was the greatest. Yes, well, that's what I'm saying. He was the greatest heel of all time. You can't tell me, Kaepernick, there was a greater heel than him. Nobody. And fans would literally trash the ring. The NWO, and mind you, Hogan did it with two different promotions. He was the greatest babyface with the WWE. The time had changed. Reinventing the wheel with himself. Going over to WCW and become the greatest heel. Like I said, not a fan of what Terry Bollea did outside the squared circle. Make abundantly clear. There's things, but Hulk Hogan, the gimmick Hulk Hogan, the character, unparalleled. Unparalleled. Joe Howe checking is my favorite movie with Hulk Hogan is when he was in the Rocky movie. Yeah, Rocky 3 is Thunder Lips. I remember like I said, that was a little bit before my time, but I remember the first time I seen Hogan in the movies was the little cameo he had with the Gremlins. When he was going to, he told the Grimsters he was going to come up there and fix them. He's a ripped his shirt off in the movie theater. But if you guys, and even still, like, think about this too. A lot of people haven't really brought it up, but even when Hogan came back to face The Rock at WrestleMania 18, and what happened? He was supposed to be the heel. Hogan had the fans at the palm of his hands. Hogan had the fans at the palm of his hands. Not The Rock. It was Hogan who had the fans at the palm of his hands. But that's the mind of Vince McMahon linking up with a guy and making him the biggest star ever. And he was the biggest draw. No doubt. I mean, I know Hogan had a bunch of different roles. Obviously, like I said, Thunder Lips was obviously the one that put him on the map. But yeah, there's been so many greats of Hogan's. Like I said, I mean, I can remember a lot of memories with them. Yes, yes. Hogan had lost his eyes with Miss Elizabeth. Macho King sniffed him right out. Oh, excuse me there. But yes, I mean, there's just so many memories you could take. Well, for Mike says, hot digging and grandstandings. Yeah, I mean, even like I said, just larger than life. Came back to WWE to give it another whirl. Oh, well, thank you there, Joseph. You get Joseph says, great show as always. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, so again, if you and like I said, I remember when I was a little guy having the like the Hogan and Ultimate Warrior little, I guess, pillow things. If you guys remember those things. Again, just so many action figures and Hogan and a lot of guys. Like I said, he paved the way for a lot of guys that are in the business now. Look at people. Look at the guys who were in his era, trying to be like get that popularity. The Ultimate Warrior, the Stings, never duplicated. When it was time for the WWE to shift gears and give the strap to somebody else, like the Bret Harts of the world, they're ready to go into the new regime. It was never nothing like Hogan's. Nothing. Even like I said, when there's the late 90, mid 90s or late 90s, from what 96 to 90, somewhat 98, when the NWO had its run, it was just unreal, and he was the leader of it. And then by then he was a little older, but again, he just kept himself in great shape, great shape. And now he's not here. So, like I said, I'm not telling people how they should feel about them, all that stuff. I know there's a stain with Terry Bollea, the person, with a lot of people, and I don't hold a grudge for how you feel. But man, Hulk Hogan, the character, was just unreal. And a lot of guys in the Indies, a lot of guys all over the world want to be like. My Papronic says, Pet, Pat, have you ever sold Tommy Rich versus Buzz Sawyer? Their feud went on for years, going into a head in Georgia Championship Wrestling in the cage with a roof, which held this, which was the Hell in a Cell. That's where the Hell in a Cell came from. No, I didn't know that. Excuse me, I didn't know that, Mike Peppernick. No, I know. Like I said, I just remember, you know, Hogan having a brief little intermission. I remember Hogan always saying, being in the ring with King Kong Bundy, you knew it because he was going to hit you. And man, tough. But yes, Hulk Hogan, RIP. But anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to get ready to wrap up the show here. I want to thank everyone who's joined me. Guys, go Phillies. And my man Joe Hale, my man Mike Papernick, Muffler Mike, thanks for joining in with me. I got to get ready to rock and roll. You guys stay nice, stay clean, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the Phillies postgame.